Chapter 1. The moment I realized I was the villain. When I opened my eyes, I thought I was still dreaming. The ceiling above me wasn't the one in my apartment. It was white stone with a golden crest painted across it, an emblem I knew too well. I had seen it 100 times on my computer screen. It was the crest of Aurelia Academy, the academy from the game. My heart slammed so hard against my ribs I almost couldn't breathe. I sat up fast and grabbed the edge of the bed. The room around me wasn't mine. The furniture was polished, the curtains were thick red velvet, and the air felt too clean and too cold. Everything was too real. I whispered, "No, this can't be happening." A soft knock hit the door. "Lord Kale?" a girl said from outside. "Are you awake?" Lord Kale. That was the name of the villain in the game. My hands started shaking. I didn't answer. Couldn't. The door opened anyway, and Arya stepped inside. Long silver hair, soft blue eyes, gentle smile. In the game, she was the hero's main love interest, the pure, loyal saintess who always stayed by his side. But the way she looked at me right then, like she was seeing someone precious, didn't match the game at all. "Good morning," she said softly. "You were sleeping so peacefully. I didn't want to disturb you." I felt my throat tighten. "You shouldn't be here." Her eyes widened like she had done something wrong. "Did I upset you?" "I'm sorry. I only came because you missed breakfast yesterday, and I don't mean it like that." I cut her off, rubbing my forehead. "I just need a moment." She stepped closer, concern filling her voice. "Are you feeling unwell again? You can talk to me. You know I'm always on your side. Always on my side." That wasn't right. In the game, Arya despised Kale. He bullied her in the early chapters. He mocked her healing powers. He even tried to break her spirit. But her eyes now, they were warm. Too warm. I forced myself to breathe. "Arya, I'll be fine. I just woke up confused. If you need anything," she whispered, "I'm right here." Her voice trembled like she wanted me to rely on her. Like she cared. Like she... No. Something was wrong with this world. When Arya finally left the room, I grabbed the nearest mirror. The reflection stared back at me, and my stomach dropped. I wasn't me. I was Kale Vertara, the villain with dark hair, sharp eyes, and a face designed to scream arrogance. The character everyone hated. The one who died in every ending. My knees went weak. "I'm the villain dash?" A cold sweat ran down my back. Then another knock hit the door. This time, the door didn't wait. Rena burst in, short dark hair, fiery eyes. The sword prodigy who in the game called Kale a pathetic coward. But she didn't look angry now. In fact, her entire face brightened when she saw me. "There you are," she said. "I've been looking everywhere for you." "For me?" I said, confused. "Well, yeah." She stepped close, too close. "You promised you'd train with me today." "I did." "You forgot?" she asked, tilting her head. "Kale, that's mean. You know I like spending time with you." I froze. "Like spending time with me? Rena? The girl who tried to stab Kale in the story? What is happening dash?" I whispered before I could stop myself. Rena frowned. "Are you okay? You look pale." Before I could answer, a loud voice echoed from the hallway. "Kale!" The room fell silent. Rena stepped aside, as if she knew exactly who the voice belonged to. I already knew too. I recognized it instantly. The anger, the frustration, the growling edge. It was him. The door slammed open and Liam, the hero of the game, glared at me like I had personally destroyed his world. "Get outside," Liam snapped. "We need to talk." Rena tensed. "Back off, Liam. He didn't do anything." "Stay out of this," Liam growled. "He knows what he did." I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how I got here. But the way Liam looked at me, I felt it deep in my bones. He hated me. Not normal hate. Not story-driven hate. Real hate. I swallowed hard. "What do you want?" His eyes darkened. "You stole everything from me." My heart stopped beating for a second. Liam stepped closer, voice shaking with fury. "Arya, Rena, Mira, all of them look at you. They talk to you. They follow you. They're supposed to be mine. He clenched his teeth so hard I heard it. You took my fate. I stepped back. I didn't do anything. You did, he whispered. And I'll take it back. I felt a chill run down my spine. He meant it. I didn't know how I ended up in this world or why the heroines cared about me instead of him. But one thing was clear. Liam wanted war. And I wasn't ready to survive it. Not yet. But as he walked away with that deadly glare, one thought echoed in my mind, louder than my pounding heartbeat. If I stay weak, I'm going to die in this world. Chapter 2. The heroines who should have hated me. The hallway felt 10 degrees colder after Liam stormed off. I stood there frozen while Rena kept staring at me like she was waiting for an explanation I didn't have. She crossed her arms. Kale, what was that about? I don't know, I muttered. That's a lie. She stepped closer. You and Liam always fight. But this is different. He looked like he wanted to kill you. He did, I whispered. Rena reached out like she wanted to grab my arm, but stopped halfway. Then stay close to me. I can protect you. Her words hit me like a punch. In the game, Rena protected Liam. Always Liam. Her loyalty to him was one of her defining traits. Seeing her offer that loyalty to me instead felt wrong. Wrong enough to make my stomach twist. I'll be fine, I said weakly. You're not, she argued. I can tell. Before I could reply, someone grabbed my sleeve from behind. Kale dash. I turned and saw Mira, the healer with long dark lashes and soft brown hair. The shy, nervous girl who used to run from Kale in the game. Now she was looking up at me with trembling hands like I was the one she relied on. She clutched my sleeve tighter. Please don't leave so fast. I wanted to walk with you today. I froze. Walk with me. Her cheeks turned red. Did I overstep? I'm sorry. You said yesterday that you liked having me around. I said that. I blinked. Yes, she whispered. You told me I made you feel calm. Rena scoffed. Of course he did. Kale says sweet things all the time. I don't, I said quickly, holding my head. At least, I don't remember saying anything like that. Myra's eyes widened with fear, like she thought I was rejecting her. Did you forget Dash? Kale, did I annoy you? Did I do something wrong? No, I said fast. No, you didn't do anything. I'm just confused, she whispered. I sighed. Yeah, very. Mira looked relieved, which only made the situation weirder. Why were they acting like this? Why were they? Kale! Another voice came echoing from behind us. I closed my eyes for a second, bracing myself. When I turned, Arya was running toward me with a small bag in her hands. I brought you lunch, she said, smiling like sunlight. You skipped breakfast again. Rena groaned. Seriously? He's not a lost puppy, Arya. Mira tightened her grip on my sleeve. He said he likes gentle care. I liked what? I muttered. Arya held the bag out with both hands. I made this myself. Eat it with me. You're spoiling him, Rena complained. Maybe he deserves it, Arya shot back. And just like that, the two girls were glaring at each other. Over me, Kale, the villain who in the original story bullied Arya, ignored Mira, and insulted Rena every chance he got. None of this made sense. I stepped back. All of you. Seriously, can we slow down? Arya blinked. Slow down. Yes, I said. I just want some space to think. Mira instantly looked hurt. Space from us. I didn't mean it like that, I said quickly. A loud scraping noise cut me off. Someone had kicked a chair across the cafeteria. Students were staring, because Liam was standing there, staring straight at me with a look that could burn the whole building down. His voice echoed through the room. Kale! All three girls flinched. Rena stepped in front of me like a guard. Mira hid behind my arm. Arya's eyes narrowed. Liam marched toward us, fists shaking. Unbelievable, he hissed. All of you around him. Again. Liam, stop, Arya warned. No, he snapped. I won't stop until he explains himself. I I took a breath. Chapter 3. His rage, my fear. I didn't want to go behind the academy with Liam. Every step felt like I was walking into a trap I couldn't see. The air was cold, the wind silent, the walls too tall. I kept telling myself to turn back, but my legs didn't listen. Liam was already waiting there, fists clenched, jaw trembling. He wasn't pretending anymore. He wasn't the calm, noble hero from the game. His eyes were bloodshot, his breathing uneven, and his whole body was shaking like something inside him was breaking apart. He looked like someone who had lost everything. "Close the door," he said without looking at me. I shut it. The moment it clicked, he spun around. "What did you do to them?" he demanded. "Nothing," I replied, forcing myself to stay steady. He stepped closer. "Don't lie to me. They're obsessed with you. Arya follows you. Rena guards you. Mira clings to you. That's not normal. That's not how this world works." "This world," I echoed. "Yes," he snapped. "This world. My world." I swallowed. "Liam, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what happened before I woke up. Everything was already like this." "Bullshit," he shouted. I flinched. He noticed. His expression twisted. "You're scared of me? Shouldn't I be?" I said quietly. For a moment, something inside him flickered. Guilt? Pain? I wasn't sure. But it vanished the second he stepped closer and grabbed the front of my uniform. "You stole my fate. I didn't steal anything. You stole their hearts. I didn't ask for that. You didn't reject it either," he hissed. "You don't deserve them. You don't deserve any of this." He shoved me back against the wall. My shoulder hit the stone hard, and a sharp pain shot down my arm. Liam leaned closer, blocking every path of escape. "Do you know what I was supposed to be?" he whispered. "I was supposed to be the one they trusted, the one they loved, the one who saved them, the one who saved this world. I'm not trying to take that from you. You already did." His voice cracked. "Can't you see? The moment you opened your eyes, everything changed." I stared at him. "What do you mean?" "I mean the girls used to hate you, and I used to be the center of their world. Then suddenly, they act like you're the only one who matters." "It's not my fault," I said. "I didn't ask for it." His grip tightened. "But they chose you anyway. I didn't choose them." "I did," Liam barked. That stunned me. He released me and stepped back, breathing hard, running a hand through his hair like he was trying to pull the rage out of himself. "You think this is jealousy?" he said, voice low. "It's not. It's destiny. You're breaking the story. You're ruining the balance of this world. You're taking the light and turning it dark." My heart thudded painfully in my chest. "Liam, I'm not doing anything on purpose. You don't have to." He stared at me with hollow eyes. "The world revolves around you now. Don't you see it? Every choice you make changes something. Every word you say shifts someone. Every step you take rewrites the script." "Script," I echoed again. "You're not listening," he shouted. "This world isn't normal. It reacts to you. It bends around you. It hates me now because you exist." I shook my head. "That can't be true." "You think I'm crazy?" Liam laughed bitterly. "Fine. Then explain this. Explain why Arya cried when you ignored her this morning. Explain why Rena skipped her training just to look for you. Explain why Mira said she feels safe only when she's near you. Explain why every student stares at you like you're Dash." He stopped and clenched his fists. "Like you're something special." I stared at him, stunned, shocked, scared, because deep down, I knew something was wrong with this world, but hearing it from his mouth made everything feel 10 times heavier. "Liam," I said slowly, "I don't want your fate. You already have it," he whispered. Silence filled the alleyway, thick and cold. Then he said something that sent a chill through my entire body. "Kale, do you know how villains die in stories like this?" I stayed quiet. "They die alone," he said softly. "They die betrayed. They die when the world turns against them. And right now, this world has already chosen its hero." He pointed at himself. "And it's me." For a second, he looked almost triumphant. Then the twisted smile faded, replaced by raw desperation. But the world isn't acting like it. It treats you like you're the main character now. I tried to respond, but he didn't let me. He slammed his hand against the wall beside my head. I won't let you steal my story. I won't let you ruin everything I worked for. I won't let you walk away with my destiny. Liam, if you won't step back on your own, he whispered, I'll force you to. The threat in his voice felt real. Too real. My pulse raced. My hands shook. I wanted to shout for help, but my voice wouldn't work. Then footsteps approached. The quick, light ones I recognized immediately. Kale? Are you here? Arya. Liam stiffened. Her voice came closer. Kale, I brought medicine for your headache. She appeared around the corner and froze when she saw us. Her eyes went wide. Liam, what are you doing? Liam stepped back fast, hiding his shaking hands behind him. Nothing. We were just talking. Arya didn't buy it. She rushed to me and checked my arm like she thought I was hurt. Are you okay? Did he? I'm fine, I said quickly. Liam's jaw tightened, hurt flickering in his eyes when she stood in front of me like a shield. This isn't over, he said quietly. Then he walked away. Arya turned to me, voice soft and trembling. Kale, what did he say to you? I watched Liam's back disappear into the distance. And for the first time since arriving in this world, I felt it clearly. If I didn't change something soon, I was going to die here. Chapter 4. The First Break in Destiny. The hero's whisper echoed in my skull long after he walked past me. Why are all the heroines looking at you instead of me? It wasn't a question. It was an accusation. A beginning. In the original story, he was humble, oblivious, pure-hearted to the point of idiocy. But standing there, with that sharp glint behind his eyes, I knew this version of him was different. My interference had awakened something earlier than it should have. Something dangerous. The academy hall buzzed after he left, everyone pretending to breathe normally again. As for me, I exhaled slowly, aware that my life had just become significantly more complicated. I didn't get long to think. A hand grabbed my sleeve. Soft, cold, urgent. I turned. Lyra stood behind me, violet eyes trembling like she'd been running. Why you? She whispered, voice thin. You weren't supposed to meet him yet. The timelines, they're collapsing. Right? Lyra, the half-witch heroine. In the game, her entire story arc was about sensing distortions in fate. Her powers awakened only after the hero saved her from a cursed forest in week 5. But now, she was trembling because destiny itself was screaming. I frowned. When did you start feeling it? Lyra swallowed hard. The moment the hero stepped into the academy, the threads snapped. Her lips parted slightly. They're being rewritten around you. That wasn't comforting. I opened my mouth to speak, but a second voice cut through. And here you are, again, alone with him. Alira, the elf saintess. She stepped forward with arms crossed, golden hair shining like she brought her own halo of sunlight. Her tone carried accusation, jealousy, and annoyance all at once. Typical Alira. Shouldn't you be preparing for the barrier ceremony? I asked. She clicked her tongue. It can wait. I needed to confirm something. Her emerald gaze sharpened. You felt it too, didn't you, Lyra? Lyra looked away, shrinking. Yes. And you know what it means. Alira's eyes returned to me. It means he is the center now, not the hero. Lyra flinched. I froze. And Alira, the saintess who normally worshipped the hero as the chosen one, looked at me with something disturbingly close to belief. Before I could respond, yet another voice chimed in. This time cold, flat, annoyed. Both of you are being loud. Celine, the swordswoman noble, the heroine who, in the original story, insulted the hero for 3 chapters before falling hopelessly in love with him. She walked up, blade at her hip, eyes giving nothing away. Alira is right, she said calmly. The hero's aura didn't pull me at all. She pointed at me. But yours did. The hallway went quiet. Lyra, Alira, Celine. 3 Heroines. Chapter 5. The Duel That Should Not Exist. When the hero said those words, "I'll correct it myself," I felt the shift in the air, like the whole academy held its breath, like fate was waiting for my answer. But I didn't give him one. Not yet. He stepped closer, eyes burning straight through me. "Fight me," he said. His voice was calm, but his hand was shaking. Outside the academy, at sunset, no rules. My heart dropped. A duel? Now? He wasn't supposed to challenge anyone until Chapter 7. Not until he awakened his hero's power. Not until the heroines fully bonded to him. But because of me, he was jumping ahead, skipping safety, skipping logic, skipping destiny. Lyra clutched my sleeve so tight she almost tore it. You can't fight him," she whispered. "His soul is unstable. If you clash now, your fates will tear apart." "You could," Alira cut in sharply. "No, he shouldn't be forcing this. The hero is losing control. He's corrupted." Celine stepped forward, hand on her sword hilt. "If he touches my liege, I'll cut him down." The hero's head snapped toward her, and I swear I saw lightning crack behind his eyes. "Your liege?" he repeated, voice hollow. "Celine, you swore loyalty to me." "That was before," she said coldly. "Before I saw how weak you really are." The room went dead silent. A single insult from Celine, the night heroine, could change the entire game's fate. This wasn't small. This was catastrophic. The hero trembled just slightly, not with fear, with humiliation. He turned back to me. "Are you hiding behind them now?" he asked. "Is that why the world chose you instead?" I pressed my teeth together. He wasn't thinking. He wasn't reasoning. He was unraveling, and everyone could see it. "No," I said quietly. "I'm not hiding." His eyes flickered. Relief, satisfaction, or something darker. Then I finished. "But I'm not your enemy." His relief shattered instantly. He stepped forward again, grabbing my collar. "You stole everything from me," he hissed. "My friends, my fate, my place. Even they." He pointed at the heroines with a shaking hand. "They were supposed to choose me." The 3 girls stiffened. Alira's voice was soft but firm. "No one took us. We choose on our own." Lyra nodded nervously. "We're not things." Celine lifted her chin. "And if we prefer him over you, that's your fault." Each sentence hit the hero like a blade. I watched his eyes dim, brighten, then shatter again. This was the start of his downfall. The beginning of the hero's wrath route. A secret path that only triggered if the hero was betrayed by every heroine at once. A path that ended with, "No, I didn't want to go there." He released my collar slowly. His voice was suddenly soft. Too soft. "You can say whatever you want," he whispered. "But sunset." His eyes locked onto mine. "You and me. Alone." I felt the heroines tense around me, but I spoke anyway. "Fine," I said. Lyra gasped. Alira grabbed my arm. Celine almost shouted. The hero froze, then smiled. A broken, relieved, terrifying smile. "I knew you wouldn't run." He turned and walked away, the crowd parting like shadows terrified of the light. When he disappeared around the corner, I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Lyra immediately spun toward me. "Why did you say yes?" she cried. "Do you want to die?" Alira's voice was softer, trembling with worry she'd never admit. "You can't beat him. Not yet. His destiny gives him strength you don't have." Celine glared at me like I'd stabbed someone. "You're reckless. Idiotic. You should have let me fight him instead." I shook my head. "No," I said. "I have to face him. If I run, he'll only get worse." Lyra grabbed my hands, ice cold. "Then we'll help you. We'll stay with you until the duel. We'll protect you." Alira stepped closer. "You won't face him alone." Celine nodded once. "He called you out. He challenged you. That makes this a matter of honor." The warmth of their loyalty should have comforted me. Instead, I felt dread, because this wasn't a fair fight. This was a rigged game. The hero's power, the blessing of the first light, was something no villain could beat in the early arcs. He would win. He was supposed to win. But fate was already breaking, twisting, reforming around me. And the heroines, they weren't leaving my side. Not anymore. As we walked toward the training grounds to prepare, Celine glanced at me and said, "When you fight him at sunset, don't hold back." Alira added quietly, "If he's willing to kill you, then it's no longer a duel." Lyra tightened her grip on my sleeve. "I can't lose you." My heart twisted. I wasn't supposed to be their center. I wasn't supposed to be their choice. And I definitely wasn't supposed to fight the hero this early. But fate didn't care. The sun was already starting to set. And the world was waiting for blood. Chapter 6. Sunset bleeds red when heroes fall. By the time we reached the cliffside arena, the sun was already sinking. The sky was red, too red, like the world knew blood was about to spill. My blood, or his, maybe both. The heroines followed close behind me, their breaths shallow, their steps shaky. They tried to hide their fear, but I could feel it in every glance they gave me. Celine was the first to speak. "You don't have to prove anything," she said quietly. "If you run, I'll stand in his way. I'll buy you time." I shook my head. "No. Running will only make him feel more cheated. He'll never stop." Alira stepped in front of me, blocking my path. Her eyes glowed faint gold with Saintess magic. "Then let me talk to him," she whispered. "He listens to me more than the others. Maybe I can calm him." "No," I said again. "He doesn't want peace." Lyra's voice trembled behind me. "It's my fault," she said softly. "I felt fate breaking, but I didn't stop it." I turned and put a hand on her shoulder. "It's not your fault. It's mine. I'm the one who changed things." None of them argued, and that silence was heavier than any accusations they could have thrown at me. Suddenly, a voice echoed across the arena. "You're late." My breath froze. The hero stood in the center of the stone circle, the wind whipping around him like it belonged to him. His silver eyes reflected the last light of sunset, sharp and cold. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't angry. He just looked empty. That scared me far more. I stepped forward. "I'm here," I said, "as you asked." His gaze flicked past me, landing on the heroines. "They followed you." Alira spoke first. "We're here to make sure no one dies." His expression twisted. "That depends on him." He pointed straight at me. Lyra grabbed my arm. "Please be careful." Celine unsheathed her sword halfway. "One wrong move and I intervene." Alira whispered, "You don't deserve to die for destiny's mistake." But I stepped away from all of them, because if they stayed close, someone would definitely die. I walked into the arena until I was only 10 steps from him. He drew his sword. Not all of it, just enough for the metal to catch the sun's final reflection. A thread of light wrapped around him. The blessing. I felt my throat go dry. "You awakened early." He didn't deny it. "The moment they looked at you instead of me, something snapped awake." "That's not my fault," I said. "It doesn't matter," he whispered. "You took everything, even my purpose." I opened my mouth to reply. "Enough." He cut me off. "No speeches. No excuses. Show me why fate wants you." He rushed forward. Faster than I expected. Faster than any human should move. I dodged barely. The blade sliced through the space where my neck had been a heartbeat ago. He spun, slashing again. Silver light trailed his sword like a comet's tail. I ducked. The ground behind me exploded. The heroines gasped. Lyra screamed, "Stop! You'll kill him." The hero didn't hear her. Or he did but didn't care. He came at me again, voice raised. "Fight back." I blocked with my dagger, but the impact sent me skidding across the arena floor. I coughed, my palms burning. He wasn't trying to scare me. He was trying to erase me. "You're weaker," he said, walking toward me. Fate chose wrong. Something in me snapped at that. "No," I said, pushing myself up. "You just hate not being the center anymore." His eyes widened just a flicker, and I attacked. Not with strength. With speed. Chapter 7. When the hero wakes, the world trembles. The hero didn't wake up for a long time. Long enough for the sky to turn purple. Long enough for the wind to grow cold. Long enough for the heroines to argue over whether they should carry me away or finish him off. I sat there on the stone floor, breathing slowly, clutching my bruised throat. Every inhale hurt. Every exhale felt like dragging needles through my lungs. But pain wasn't what made me shiver. It was the silence. The hero lay motionless across the arena. Too still. Too quiet. Like the world was waiting for him to rise. Like the story didn't know what to do next. Celine was the first to speak. "We should leave," she said sharply. "He's unstable. When he wakes up, he'll come for you again." Alira shook her head. "No, something's wrong. This wasn't a normal blessing backlash." His magic twisted. It changed. Lyra hugged her knees, trembling. I felt it too. It wasn't light anymore. It felt like something broke inside him. I swallowed, my throat raw. "Because of me." They all looked at me at once. Celine frowned. "No, because of him. He couldn't handle losing." Alira whispered, "This is what happens when someone meant to be loved by the world suddenly loses its favor." Lyra glanced at the hero's body. "I think he's hurting more than we know, Dash." I didn't respond, because a part of me agreed, and another part of me wished I didn't. We waited. Minutes passed. Maybe 20. Maybe 40. I couldn't tell anymore. And then, his fingers twitched. All three heroines tensed instantly. Celine's hand went to her sword. Alira stepped in front of me. Lyra grabbed my sleeve again, whispering a terrified, "Please stay behind us." I wanted to stand up. I wanted to be ready. But when the hero's body jolted, I froze. He gasped, clutching his chest, eyes flying open. Not silver. Not pure. Not normal. His pupils glowed faint white like there was a crack in his soul where light shouldn't escape. He sat up slowly. Too slowly. Too calm. He looked around the arena, confused, dazed, until his eyes found me, and everything dull in his expression snapped into focus. "You!" The heroines shifted closer. Celine raised her sword. "Do not move." He didn't look at her. Didn't even acknowledge the blade pointed at him. He only stared at me. "I thought I killed you," he said softly. Lyra flinched. Alira's hands began to glow. Celine stepped between us, sword ready to strike. But I forced myself to speak. "You didn't. They stopped you." He blinked. Once. Twice. Then his eyes moved to the girls, finally noticing their defensive stances. "You hurt me," he whispered. Celine scoffed. "You tried to kill him." The hero's face twisted. Confusion, anger, and something like betrayal blending into one expression. "I wasn't trying to kill him," he muttered. I raised my voice lightly. "You had your hand around my throat." He hesitated. His fingers touched his own neck unconsciously, as if repeating the motion in his mind. "I just wanted answers." "That's not what it looked like," Celine said, stepping forward a little. He ignored her again. His gaze returned to me, shaking now. "I don't understand," he whispered. "Why does it feel like I'm losing everything even though I did nothing wrong?" For the first time since I arrived in this world, pitied him. But pity didn't matter. It wouldn't save either of us. Alira stepped forward, voice gentle. "Hero, listen to me. You're not thinking clearly. Your blessing reacted strangely. You need time to rest, to calm your mind." "No." He stood up abruptly. The holy energy around him flickered, then warped into something sharp and cold. The heroines gasped. Alira stepped back. Even Celine hesitated. Lyra whispered, "That's not the blessing. What is that, Dash?" The hero clenched his fists. "I don't need rest. I don't need calm." His voice shook. "What I need is the truth." He took a step toward me. The heroines blocked him immediately, and for the first time, I saw something like fear flicker in his eyes. Not fear of them. Fear of something inside himself. "I don't want to fight you again," he said through gritted teeth. "But if you keep stealing what's mine, If they keep choosing you, then I won't have a choice. Celine's voice dropped like ice. They're not yours. That's not for you to say, he snapped. Then he looked at me again. Those cracked, glowing pupils felt like they were staring through my skin. Tell me, he whispered, why is fate choosing you over me? My mouth went dry. I didn't have an answer, but I said something anyway, something honest. I don't think fate chose me. His breath hitched. Then why? He asked, voice breaking. Why does everything fall away from me when you appear? Why do they? He stopped. His hand rose to his chest. He pressed it there, trembling. It hurts, he whispered. That single sentence hit harder than any sword. I stepped forward before thinking. Because destiny is breaking, I said softly. And you're breaking with it. His eyes widened. For a moment he looked human again. Lost. Vulnerable. But then, a crack tore through the ground beneath him. Light too bright, too wild burst out. Lyra screamed, "Move!" Alira yanked me back. Celine grabbed my arm and dragged me away from the explosion of holy energy twisting into something unnatural. The hero fell to his knees, clutching his head, shouting in pain. The light around him turned from white to a fractured, violent silver. Alira gasped. That's impossible, Dash. Lyra choked on her breath. He's mutating. Celine whispered something I never expected to hear from the strongest heroine. The hero is losing himself. And as the holy light shattered around him like broken glass, the hero lifted his face. He looked straight at me, and in a voice no longer fully human, he said, "If fate won't make me the center, then I'll take the world apart until it remembers who I am." My heart dropped, because in that moment, the hero didn't just see me as a rival. He saw me as the thing the universe loved more than him, and he was ready to declare war on destiny itself. Chapter 8. When a hero makes a request he shouldn't. I knew something was wrong the moment I stepped into the academy courtyard. Not because of the silence. Not because of the students whispering at the fountain. Not because the morning sky was unnaturally still. But because the hero was waiting there. Alone. Arms crossed. Expression calm. Eyes sharp enough to peel truth from flesh. The heroines had been dismissed from morning drills early. All three of them, Alira, Celine, and Lyra, were nowhere in sight. He had arranged this. He wanted me isolated. And the world let him. I approached slowly, because turning away would look guiltier than anything I actually was. The hero stepped forward with a mild smile, too polite to be genuine. "Vil." He paused, corrected himself. "No, you. We need to talk." A request that was not a request. The courtyard emptied as if pulled by invisible strings. When the final student slipped inside the building, the hero exhaled softly. "This world changed when you woke up, didn't it?" My pulse stopped cold. He didn't accuse. He didn't shout. He didn't demand. He simply stated what he believed to be true. And that was far more dangerous. I steadied my voice. "And what makes you think that?" His eyes, silver and unsettlingly clear, fixed on mine. "Because the heroines shouldn't be near you." He said it without emotion, without jealousy, without fear, just certainty. "In every timeline," he continued, "every prophecy, every preview, they avoid you. You are a storm they must pass through, not a harbor they rest in." He stepped closer. "I met Alira at dawn. She wouldn't look at me. That's impossible. In the script of destiny, she is drawn to me on sight." He tilted his head slightly. "So why does she hide behind you instead?" I gritted my teeth. This was the conversation I never wanted to have. He went on. "Celine, she should have challenged you this morning. Instead, she stormed out of the arena without a word." "Why?" His eyes narrowed. "And Lyra, the most loyal heroine of them all, already changed her opinion of you. Overnight." He drew in a steady breath. "That isn't normal. It isn't possible. Unless Dash." His voice dropped into something quiet and lethal. "You altered the story before I arrived. Lightning didn't strike. The sky didn't roar. The world didn't glitch. But I did. Because the hero wasn't stupid. Chapter 9. The hero makes his first enemy. For a long moment, no one breathed. The hero stood in the center of the courtyard, 3 heroines orbiting me like sworn guardians, and something inside him finally cracked. Not loudly, not violently, not with shouting or accusations, but with the quiet, awful sound of someone realizing the world was no longer theirs. A single emotion flickered across his face. Loss. He masked it quickly, too quickly. Move, he said softly. It wasn't a command. It wasn't even a threat. It was a plea. And Alira stepped in front of me before the words fully left his mouth. No. That one syllable hit him harder than a blade. Celine flanked her, arms crossed, chin raised in defiance that wasn't meant to be elegant. You don't give him orders. Lyra didn't speak. She simply moved closer, bow drawn, arrow knocked, eyes locked on the hero's throat. A warning, promise, a line drawn. Students began to gather at the far end of the courtyard, watching with horrified fascination. The hero noticed them. He noticed everything. And something inside him hardened. So this was it. This was the moment he realized I wasn't a problem. I was a rival, his first real enemy. He took one small step back, as if to gather the last of his composure. His silver eyes flicked over each heroine slowly, studying them, memorizing the betrayal written in their stance. Then he exhaled. Very well. The sky dimmed at that exact moment. A faint shift like the world flinched. Destiny did not approve. The hero continued speaking, voice steady but trembling underneath like a blade pressed against a cracking sheath. If you believe he is worthy of your loyalty, his gaze returned to me, then you will face the consequences of that choice. Celine scoffed. You're not their keeper. Or mine. Alira's voice sharpened. We choose who we follow. Lyra whispered, almost apologetically, and right now we choose him. Her arrow remained aimed at his heart. The hero didn't reach for his sword. That was what terrified me, because a protagonist who follows the script is predictable. A protagonist who strays becomes an unknown variable. He simply straightened his posture, letting the wind catch his coat like some divine emblem. The students began whispering again. He talked back to the heroines. Why are they defending the villain? Is the hero losing? Rumors formed instantly. They always did around chosen ones. And he felt every word like a dagger. Slowly, he turned away from us. But he stopped midway, like a thought had stabbed him. Without looking back, he spoke again. 3 heroines choosing the villain. His voice was calm, too calm. That means fate has broken. And when fate breaks. He turned his head, just enough for one silver eye to lock onto mine. The world chooses someone to fix it. My stomach tightened. And if the world chooses me, he continued softly, then your existence becomes the problem. Every heroine tensed. But the hero didn't attack, didn't threaten them, didn't shout. He simply delivered his judgment like a sentence already written by something above him. I wanted peace between us, he said. But if you insist on changing the story, then . He stepped forward, past me, past the heroines, walking away without fear of the arrow aimed at his back. I will become the force that corrects you. The courtyard went dead silent. Calm declaration, quiet promise, a beginning of war. As he reached the academy doors, he paused one last time. And villain . His voice was low, almost intimate. When I return for you, I won't be alone. The doors closed behind him. The hero had made his first enemy, and he had chosen me. Chapter 10. The heroines decide to move into my room. I barely had time to breathe after the hero walked away. The courtyard was still buzzing with whispers, fear, and excitement. The hero had practically declared war, and the students loved drama more than peace. I just wanted a break, a moment to think, maybe even a few minutes alone to plan how I was supposed to survive a protagonist who now saw me as a cosmic error. But the heroines, no chance of being alone. Alira grabbed my wrist the second the crowd thinned. We're going to your room, she said. I blinked. What? Why? She looked at me like the answer was obvious. Because you're in danger now. He's the hero. He won't stop. Celine stepped closer, expression sharp with determination. I'm not leaving you by yourself. If he comes back, I'll be the first to punch him. Lyra nodded quietly. And I can set traps. Great. A full party of trouble. I sighed. I appreciate the concern, but Alira cut me off instantly. We're going. I don't think. We're going, she repeated, tightening her grip. Celine tossed her hair dramatically. Unless you want to die alone in your sleep, sure, stay by yourself. Personally, I prefer my men alive. Lyra whispered. I already packed my bags. I stared at her. You what? I had a feeling, she murmured. So I was outnumbered, outmatched, and outvoted. Perfect. We walked down the dorm hallway together, attracting even more whispers than the hero had earlier. When the students saw the 3 top heroines flanking me like some kind of royal escort, their jaws practically fell off. By the time we reached my room, I felt like collapsing. Alira entered first without knocking. Of course she did, looking around with a wrinkled nose. This is awful, she muttered. No wonder you nearly died in the original story. I groaned. Please don't insult my room. I already sleep here. Celine pushed past me and plopped onto my bed. Finally, I'm exhausted, she announced. I call this side. Lyra stood in the doorway, hesitant. Is it okay if I stay by the window? I tried one more time. Girls, listen. I don't think it's safe for you here. Alira shut the door behind us with a decisive click. That's why we're staying. I took a deep breath. Look, he's the hero. The world bends for him. If he thinks I'm a threat, the story will change to kill me. Being near me puts you in danger. All of you. They went silent for 3 seconds. Then Alira stepped closer, meeting my eyes. That's exactly why we won't leave you. Celine leaned back on her hands, legs crossing. You think we're scared of some shiny chosen one? Lyra looked down, her voice trembling softly. I don't want the world choosing for me anymore. Their words hit me harder than the hero's threat. For the first time since I woke up in this nightmare, I felt something in my chest loosen. Not relief, but warmth. Something painful, something dangerous. Loyalty. Alira placed a hand on my shoulder. He won't hurt you. Not while I'm here. Celine smirked. If he wants a fight, I'll give him a show. Lyra whispered. I won't let him take what's mine. I froze. Yours? Her cheeks turned red instantly, but she didn't repeat herself. Alira clapped her hands suddenly. All right, we need sleeping arrangements. Celine already stole the bed, so I'll share with you. What? Celine shot upright. No, I'm sharing with him. Lyra tightened her fists. I want the window side. With him. Hold on. I tried. All 3 spoke at once. He's sleeping with me tonight. No, me. He said I get the window. It was like watching fate itself tear at the seams. I rubbed my temples, ready to pass out. The hero was preparing for war. And apparently, so were the heroines. One emotional disaster at a time. Chapter 11, Nightfall. The first attack comes. The night felt heavier than it should have. The academy corridors were empty, but every shadow seemed to twitch, whisper, and threaten. Couldn't sleep. The heroines had insisted on staying, turning my room into a fortress of blankets, magic wards, and tension. Celine had her sword across the bed. Alira had her hands glowing faintly with protective magic. Lyra sat on the windowsill, her bow across her lap, eyes scanning the darkness. I tried to breathe, tried to calm my pounding chest, but the world felt wrong. I knew he was coming, and he didn't knock. A ripple of air hit the window. Lyra's arrow flew before I even realized it. A small shard of silver light clanged against the wall where a shadow had moved. He's here, Lyra whispered, eyes wide. No, I muttered. Yes, Alira corrected, voice firm. He's testing us. I grabbed my dagger. Then let him. I'm ready. The shadows stretched along the hallway. Silver light sparked along the floor, moving faster than anything human should. And then, in a single breath, he was there. The hero. Not yelling. Not angry. Just cold. Focused. "You shouldn't be hiding," he said softly. "Not after breaking destiny." I swallowed. "I'm not hiding. I'm surviving." He tilted his head. "There's no difference." Before I could react, he moved. Faster than any human or villain should move. I dodged. Barely. The edge of his sword sliced through the air where my head had been a heartbeat ago. I rolled backward, dagger ready. "Stay behind me," Alira shouted. Her magic formed a shimmering barrier between him and us. Celine leapt, swinging her sword. He didn't dodge. He absorbed it, deflecting with a flick of his wrist. I felt my heart sink. This wasn't just a fight. This was a test of wills. Lyra fired arrows while I circled him, looking for openings. Every attack he blocked effortlessly. Every strike he returned with precision. "You're strong," I said between breaths. "I didn't expect that I would come," he finished for me. "Yes," I admitted. Stronger than the story allowed. A shadow moved behind him. Another, and another, more of the hero's allies, summoned by his chaotic blessing. The ground trembled. Alira's shield flickered. "We can't hold this long." I grit my teeth. "Then we don't hold it. We fight." The first clash rang like thunder in the empty corridor. Sparks flew. Shards of stone cracked the floor. The hero's eyes never left mine. Never left me. And in that relentless gaze, I realized something. This wasn't just a fight to kill me. This was personal. He hated losing. He hated seeing the world bend toward someone else. And worst of all, he would never stop. I dodged a second strike, rolled to the side, and stabbed at his leg. He caught it with one hand and lifted me off the ground. "You really think you can survive me?" he said quietly. "After all the worlds that chose me?" I laughed. A short, bitter sound. "I survive because I must. You survive because fate forced you here. I'm not afraid of fate." He paused. For a moment his eyes flickered. The tiniest hesitation. Then he smiled. "Good. Then this will be fun." And just like that, the first night attack became more than a skirmish. It became a war. Chapter 12. The hero strikes the first blow. I woke to the sound of shattering glass. Lyra had already jumped to the windowsill, bow in hand. "He's here," she hissed. I groaned, sitting up. My body ached from last night's chaos, every muscle screaming. "Already? It's barely dawn." Alira's eyes glowed faintly. Dawn doesn't matter to him. The hero doesn't follow rules. Celine pulled her sword off the bed, rolling her shoulders. "Well, he's going to find out we don't either." I stood slowly, gripping my dagger. I knew it was coming. The hero wouldn't just test me, he would try to break me. And I had no choice but to fight. Before I could plan, he was inside. No warning. No announcement. Just there. His silver eyes scanned the room, lingering on me. The world seemed to narrow until there was only him. "You survived last night," he said quietly, almost impressed. I snorted. "Barely." "You shouldn't have," he replied. His voice had that edge again, the one that made my stomach twist. "Every second you live, every moment the heroines follow you, is a wound in my destiny." Lyra fired first. An arrow streaked toward him. He caught it midair, bending it until it twisted into a jagged shape. He flicked his wrist. It shattered on the floor. Celine charged, sword swinging. I joined her side, dagger aimed, while Alira tried to raise a protective ward. And then it happened. He moved, faster than I expected, faster than I thought possible. My dagger barely scratched his arm. Celine's sword was knocked from her hands with one flick. Alira's shield shattered under the force of his blessing. I stumbled back, eyes wide. He's stronger than before. He stepped toward me, calm, collected, and terrifying. I had to adjust. "You're not just surviving. You're changing everything." I swallowed hard. "So? That's not my fault." "Fault?" he repeated, voice low and dangerous. No, this is choice, and I'm about to show you the consequences of yours. He struck. I blocked as best I could, but the impact sent me flying across the room. Pain exploded in my shoulder. I hit the wall hard, sliding down with a groan. Celine recovered her sword and came at him again, shouting, "Get away from him!" He grabbed her wrist mid-strike and flung her across the room. I heard her curse as she slammed into the wall. Alira's eyes widened, her hands trembling as she tried to rebuild the barrier. "Stop! You're going to kill him!" I staggered to my feet, my chest burning. "You think I care if he dies?" I yelled, more at myself than anyone else. "He's going to try anyway." The hero's gaze snapped to me, sharp as a knife. "You're right." He struck again. This time it wasn't just physical. A wave of force slammed into me, knocking me to my knees. The floor cracked beneath me. I coughed, blood in my mouth, and yet I couldn't stop staring, because beneath that calm, calculated face, I saw something else. A flicker of doubt, a flicker of hesitation. I realized then that I had something he didn't expect. I could endure. I rolled to the side, catching my dagger. "I won't die here," I said, voice hoarse but steady. His eyes narrowed, studying me as if calculating. "Good. That makes this interesting." He lunged again, faster, stronger, more precise, and I met him, not with strength, not with power, but with cunning. Every trick I'd learned as a villain, every cheat, misstep, and manipulation from the early chapters, I used. We clashed, blade against blade, dagger against sword, magic against magic. I was outmatched. I knew it, but I would not fall. Not tonight, because I realized something in the first strike. The hero wasn't just attacking me. He was trying to shape me, to break me, and if he wanted a fight, I would give him one. Chapter 13. Betrayal from the Unexpected. I thought I had control. I thought last night's fight had prepared me for everything. I was wrong. The morning sunlight streamed weakly through the shattered windows of my room. The heroines and I were still recovering from the hero's strike. Celine nursing bruises on her ribs, Lyra massaging her arm, Alira sitting silently with her hands glowing faintly, still protective. I thought we were safe, until the knock came. Not at the door, not polite. It was at the hidden side window, the one I had used to sneak into the academy last week. I froze. Lyra stiffened. Alira's glow flickered. Celine gripped her sword tighter. I whispered, "Who dash?" A familiar voice floated through the glass. "Need a hand." I turned slowly, and there he was. Or rather, he wasn't. It was Marcus. Marcus, the ally I trusted. Marcus, the one who had always claimed he was on my side. My friend. My confidant. He grinned. Too wide. Too confident. "I heard the hero is here," he said casually, "and thought maybe I could help. From the inside." Something in my gut twisted. "Inside? What do you mean?" I asked, voice steady, though my pulse was racing. "Oh, come on," Marcus said, shrugging. "You really think I'd let you have all the fun? I like a little chaos too." Lyra's arrow flew before I could even react. It hit the wall beside him with a metallic thud. "Back!" she shouted. Marcus raised his hands in mock surrender, still smiling. "Relax. I'm just here to help." Alira narrowed her eyes. "Help by siding with the hero?" He laughed. "Not siding exactly. Let's call it choosing the winning team. I've seen how this plays out. You're strong, sure. But the hero, he's unstoppable." I felt my stomach drop. Betrayal burned through me hotter than any strike from the hero. "You traitor!" I hissed, stepping forward. "You swore loyalty." He shrugged again, infuriatingly casual. "Loyalty doesn't win wars. Survival does. And I prefer to survive with the hero on my side." Celine growled, leaping at him, sword raised. Marcus rolled easily, dodging her attack. He smirked. "Pathetic." Alira's shield glimmered. I should have expected this. People always reveal their true colors eventually. Lyra muttered, gripping her bow tighter. "I trusted him dash." I stepped between them. "Enough." Focus on me. Marcus hesitated for a split second, calculating. I took it. I struck. My dagger sliced through the air, just barely grazing him. He grinned, impressed. Not bad. You've learned something since yesterday. But it won't be enough. My fists clenched. You've chosen the wrong side. Always remember that. He tilted his head. Maybe, but I'm not fighting you yet. I've got other plans. And with that, he vanished through the window, leaving a trail of shattered glass and my heartbeat pounding in my ears. The heroines looked at me. I looked at them. I whispered, "He's working with the hero now." Alira's hands glowed brighter. "Then we have to be smarter, stronger, faster." Celine muttered under her breath, "I hate traitors." Lyra's voice was quiet but deadly. "We'll deal with him and the hero." I swallowed. Fear twisted in my stomach. But not for me. For the first time, I realized that the true danger wasn't just the hero. It was people I trusted. And from now on, I couldn't trust anyone. Chapter 14. The hero declares war on the academy. The academy burned. Smoke curled into the sky, carrying the echoes of screams, shouts, and the hero's silver-tinged laughter. I stood in the courtyard, dagger in hand, heart pounding. The heroines flanked me, battered but unbroken. Alira's magic shield flickered, glowing faintly around us. Celine's sword was chipped, her expression fierce. Lyra's bow was ready, arrows knocked, eyes never leaving the hero. He approached slowly, footsteps deliberate, calm. Every student, every teacher, every wall in the academy seemed to shrink before him. "You've changed everything," he said quietly. "And now, destiny demands correction." I swallowed. Fear, adrenaline, and rage collided inside me. "You're wrong," I spat. "Destiny doesn't decide who lives. I do." His silver eyes narrowed. Bold words for a villain. I grinned. A bitter, dangerous grin. "Not a villain. Not anymore. I'm the one writing the story now." He lunged, faster than I expected. But this time it was different. I didn't just dodge. I countered. I moved with precision. Every strike a trap. Every feint a lesson from the world I remembered. Celine and Lyra struck from the sides. Alira reinforced the ward just enough to block his strongest blows. The hero staggered. A crack appeared in his calm facade. I pressed forward, dagger at his chest. "Look at what you've done," I yelled, voice echoing across the burning courtyard. "You could have stopped me. You could have stayed the story. But you underestimated me. And the people who follow me." He froze. For the first time I saw it: doubt, frustration, the reality that the world had already shifted. The heroines flanked me closer, breathing heavily. "You wanted a fight?" I asked, lowering my dagger just enough to taunt. "Then take it. But remember, Dash." I let the weight of my words hang. "You lose. Not because you're weak, but because you thought fate would always obey you." The hero stepped back, gaze sharp but restrained. For a long, tense moment we just stared, and then he smiled faintly. "Perhaps you've grown stronger than the story allowed," he admitted quietly. I felt my chest tighten. Victory didn't feel like celebration. Felt heavy, dangerous. "You still have a choice," he said, voice softer. "Leave now. Take the heroines. Live. Or dash." I shook my head. "No. This is my story. Mine." He nodded once. Slowly. Then, without another word, he stepped back. And for the first time, I realized the hero had respected me. The heroines relaxed, but I didn't let my guard down. I knew the war wasn't over, not really. The world had shifted, and I had survived. And for now, that was enough. Alira stepped closer, placing her hand on my shoulder. "You led us through it," she whispered. Celine smirked, wiping blood from her lip. "Guess we're officially on your side now." Lyra's eyes softened for the first time. "We follow you. Always." I looked around at the ruined courtyard, at the burning academy, at the three heroines who had chosen me over destiny itself. A slow, bitter smile spread across my face. "I guess being the villain isn't so bad," I said. And for the first time since I woke up in this body, I felt free. The hero's shadow lingered in the distance, silent, watching, calculating. But I no longer feared him, because I wasn't the villain in his story anymore. I was the author of my own fate. The world had tried to break me. It had failed. And now it would remember my name.